Hello, YouTubers and all those happen to watch, as well as Twitcherians and all those happen to watch. So this one's going to be one of the type of videos where I'm kind of just self-reflecting and all that. It's more so to kind of also go over the cycle evaluation of myself mentally, because I'm practically insane. So basically, I was let go from GOGCOM. Long story short, I'll give you the quick version of it, because long versions are kind of boring. So, long story short, I fucked up. I was taking in games, I took too many, and that upset developers, which rightfully so. They were looking for certain numbers. I don't have that kind of numbers in terms of my Twitch channel, definitely. And YouTube, it's not as hot. Like, it's simply not that hot. So, a lot of developers look at this like, well, this guy doesn't make a lot, so we feel like it's not going to get as much exposure. And that's basically the longevity of it. So, everything else in between, it's practically my fault. I screwed up. That's a summary of all that in a nutshell with some ice cream in the bowl. So now I look at that and go, okay, I screwed up wholeheartedly, and I pretty much looked at everything I did up until then, all the work I put in just in general. It was at that point I says, okay, I screwed up, never do it again. That's pretty much I took from it, and now simply I learned and moved on from that point. So with that keynote already checked off, I looked at everything else I did as in terms of content creating and all that. So I was like, okay, I'm doing all this work, I'm working myself to death, and it isn't necessarily I'm expecting appreciation at all for it either. I'm just doing it because it's sort of like, to me, I feel like, yes, there's games that should be shown, games I really enjoy, and I want to show them to other people. Because, yes, those other people then probably would like to grab a hold of it, but they're unsure because they trust my opinion, and that's pretty much how I saw it. And I was humbled by that, because, again, at the end of the day, as a person who doesn't really get to express his opinion as much, you know, it's something that it felt good. As well as being able to socialize with people that, you know, again, I'm a comfortable person with socializing with people. I'm just the type of person that's like socializing with assholes, basically. It's like the whole entire thing. Like, I can talk to almost anybody unless they're an asshole, and I don't want to talk to them. That's pretty much it. I know I come off as an asshole sometimes too, but it's like I don't even aim to be, if that makes any sense. Because if I get worked up in an opinion or something like that, yes, I become an asshole a little bit, but it's, yeah, I mean, it's not the type where I'm trying to push the person down from it either, or push them aiming up with my fist or aiming down. It's just sort of like I'm just going, well, I disagree with that, blah, 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 and I explain why, of course. I'm not going to go and, you know, say they're just flat out wrong in the end. It's, I go into reasons why I disagree with it, or rather, I look at the whole big thing, go, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, I'm not going to go into a ramble, but that's pretty much how I, you know, just like to socialize. I just like to chat, relax, and just play a game and play as much as I want to. And then if I feel exhausted from streaming, I just stop. That's pretty much how I did it, too. And so I look at it like this. It's like I want to be at a place where I can stream, because I like streaming. Streaming part is a great way to socialize. Yes, I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm not trying to be some gloat, or what the heck was that? No, it wasn't gloat. It was clout or something like that. I don't know what the hell the term is these crazy kids have nowadays. But, you know, I'm not trying to get no notoriety from anything from streaming. I just simply want to stream. I like it. It's something that I get to chat with a few folks and have a good time. Have a good social barrier there. You know, I met a lot of awesome people there. And so it's something that I feel bad because I enjoyed talking to all of them. And it's tricky to catch up to everyone's stream. And sometimes they do show up to mine. So it was like, okay, what the hell am I going to do then? I mean, I don't mind talking with Righty Set all day. That's fine too. But at the same time, I look at it like, well, I'm missing a lot of connections I had or have. And when I streamed, I felt a lot better. You know, that's like, for me in streaming, it was like basically when I first started to actually stream, it was because I felt a little low about myself. It wasn't because I was trying to build up my confidence in myself, because I have plenty of that fill in the blank here. But It was just more so I felt like I didn't really have a lot of social interaction with people. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to be this introverted jerk here. I'm going to go out and chat with people if I can, because I looked at this Twitch thing. I was like, oh, you could chat with people too. And I mean, I did this stuff on, what was it called? On Stickam. I used to just hang out my own thing, play old video games, and that was it. I just sat in my thing and just did that. So with that, I just pretty much shoot the shit and just had fun. And so I treated Twitch as such. And I was given a lot of fortunate advances in terms of obtaining video games. I was able to be a part of the GogCom stream team, which I thought that was amazing. Unfortunately, I screwed that up. Again, I'm not trying to dwell on that, but it was just sort of like I fumbled the ball, if you will. I'm not going to go and look at it as, you know, that's the primary reason why I stopped streaming. No, that is not the primary reason why I stopped streaming. I kicked myself in the ass, sure, but that was about it for like, 20 minutes. And then after that, I just kind of self-reflected, going, and I looked at everything I did as a stream content creator person, and I was like, okay, I'm doing all this work, and I feel exhausted and tired. And it's like, I mean, I'm not expecting a pat on the back from everyone who I do these games for, but for all the work I put into it, nothing really showed up in terms of the work I put into it. And it became like I then became obsessed with just covering all these games and showing them to people. But then, you know what I mean? It's sort of like because I was showing me so many different games, people lost interest in what I was doing, and I wasn't really socializing with anybody. So I was like, you know what I mean? I got like a couple of folks that do show up often, and I'm always humbled that they show up. But at the same time, you know what I mean? It's sort of like it rolls around like a ball, like a tire. Like it's like I get that interaction with people, but then it's sort of like people come and go too. So I looked at it like, okay, it's because people only attracted to certain games, they never showed up again. So you end up losing that chance to talk to those people, because they were really interesting conversations. And it's like, for me, I'm the type of person, I was like, okay, because I'm covering these games, I have to keep moving forward because there's so many games to cover. And I ended up giving myself like 14 games at tops to cover, and that's insane. That's no one in their right mind should be doing that. And so it just became, I snowballed myself from pretty much a snowball effect. Basically, you throw a snowball from up top of a snowy mountain, rolls down, you have all this snowball everywhere, and it's just crazy. It's a freaking avalanche, if you will. So it's because it was so exhausting, I was like, yeah, no, I got to step back, recollect myself, and I feel like I am better. It also doesn't help that it's flu season right now either. Because I feel like a cinder block dropped on my head. So it really now just boils down to, okay, if I come back to streaming, what do I do? Because I do not want to put myself in that position again at all. And because people with habits eventually repeat them, unless they fix them or dress them and nip them on the butt. So then it really just boils down to, okay, WTF, how do I fix this situation? How do I make it so that way I don't put myself in the situation anymore? And if I do cover anything, it's like literally one game, and I play it through the entirety of the stream. So it's like I need to literally set ground rules for myself, rules that I can't break because it's impossible. So I looked at all that, and I says, okay, I mean, it's eventually going to be where developers are going to be like, oh, this guy seems okay. You know what I mean? And then they're going to eventually offer me a code or something, and I'm going to be like, oh, well, you know what I mean? Because I feel like, you know, they're putting that confidence in me. I want to pay it back forward and show their game or whatever. But then at the same time, there's so many different games in my head that I want to just play. Because, I mean, I do have an awesome relationship with a couple developers out there, too. And it's like, I'm not going to act like I don't. But at the same time, like, seldom that I will take any games. At the same time, I'll take games that I have confidence beyond the publisher or the developer, and I'll just play them on YouTube and just do it like that. So it's easier for me. So baby steps is pretty much the best medicine here, because I don't want to go crazy. Because it's like, I kid you not, I had plans to play games like Prince of Quinn or whatever. And then when that came forward, basically what happened was I was too damn tired because of doing other things. I couldn't focus on the game. And I was taking away from the experience. So I felt agitated because I was like, well, I got to play these other games too. So that means it became, I was too obsessed with the work ethic versus the actual, summary of what you're supposed to be doing in the video game and just having fun with it, right? I mean, if you're taking away the fun out of a game and turning it into work, it ain't fun anymore. You're just working. And some people go, well, there's not the life everyone wants. They want to be able to play video games and get them for free or whatever. And it's like, well, for me, it's not necessarily free because you still got to work for it. You have to put the hours in, put the time in to play the game, and it's time you're not getting back. And I put and that's my major thing too, is like all these games that I got were either fun or mediocre or just not fun. But at the same time, there's games out there that I've gotten that I never really got to finish because I was just covering them for a little while and go, hey, take a look at this game, looks cool, check it out, buy it here. And then I became fucking drained. I'm saying it bluntly like that, fucking drained. Because it was really where I felt like I was not benefiting from it mentally because I was just sitting here like, well, there you go. I'm just covering this game. And some people go, well, that's their life for me. I want to get games too. No, if you have a busy life as it is and you try doing this, you're not going to have time for it. And it's going to destroy you. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you're not used to it, because back in forever, I've been covering video games, reviewing them. I literally contacted developers and talked to them and all that. And so it was like things were different from now to then. So it's more so the relationships you have with developers is like you have to cover games for them or you do a promotional thing for them. And so that's pretty much it. People think that they can be any Dick and Sally and just do it. And it's like, you don't understand. You have to cover that game. You can't, you have to give them your absolute best. It's none of the sloppy type of stuff either. You have to just show you what you can of the game, and there's embargoes you have to follow. It's just so many different things you have to do, and it's a totally different thing what you're expecting it to be. And it's so people ask me all the time, well, how do you get this? I want to lock that. No, you really don't. You really don't. It's not something I'd recommend. Just grab games from wherever and just be happy. That's all I can say, because you don't want to go down the road I've been down with that. Because eventually it will just destroy you. You're not going to like games anymore, and that's the thing I did not want to happen. Because it was like I was pushing myself to that point where I just didn't like playing video games because I felt miserable. Because I was constantly playing so many games, I didn't have no time to enjoy the games. If that makes any sense. Like, because I was playing so many, I was like, I felt like I was the agitated IGN freaking reviewer guy. I was like, oh, fuck my life. And so I'm just sitting there trying to play each one of these games the best I can with an open mind. And I just felt so damn tired. I was not getting any sleep because I was constantly thinking about playing, okay, I'm going to cover next. Oh, I got to do this. And so my ADHD was just destroying me with that on top of the cake. So it's just sort of like, just simply put it this way. From now on, if I do plan to stream, it's going to be on my own terms. And if I do cover a game for developers, because I really like that developer, and I'm going to cover it that way. Otherwise, it's sort of like just more so, I'm going to be doing it for me. And just hoping that I can keep myself mentally clean, that I don't go and be like, I'm just going to play a bunch of games now and cover them. No, I'm not that type of person. I'm going to cover one game if I have to, which even then, that's more so going to be on YouTube. And anything I'm going to probably play on my channel is going to be retro games that I like, or games I want to play. Because it's like I had this whole idea in my head, okay, I'm just going to play a bunch of retro games now because that's what I really like. I really like retro games. I mean, there's a lot of modern games that are fantastic, indie titles, superb. I've pretty much made a Hallmark card with that when it came to me covering games. The majority I played was indie games because I liked those more, and a lot of AAA, and a lot of AAA were just too damn expensive. I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole spiel about that with the cost of games and the time you spend and all that, because a lot of people are subjective with that, of course, and we're going to be here all fucking day, and it's like, I don't have no time for that shit. So, long story short, if I return the stream, it'll probably just be a bunch of retro games I'll be covering.